Hello everyone, I'm That One Cat, and welcome back to another drawing video. Today we're going to be talking about none other than Among Us, the game that at the time we're recording this is still within the top 5 most watched games on Twitch, which is crazy to me because I've never heard of this game before, and apparently it came out like 2 years ago, so I don't know. It just suddenly blew up. I don't know why it blew up, but it did, and now it's this huge phenomena, and everyone's making artwork, everyone's watching the game, and there's memes, and just it's this huge, almost cultural thing now. So I figured I would try to flex my new and improved art skills and try to make some cool, goofy little art for you guys. So let's see how I did. Just as a side note, I've been streaming on YouTube. I've been trying to stream on YouTube at least a couple times a week, so if you guys want to see that, please stop by. I don't really have a good schedule, it's kind of just like whenever, but I try to play a variety of things. I usually just play League of Legends, but if you guys want to join or play any games, let me know, and turn on those notifications so you'll know when I pop on. So the first time that I saw this game, I kind of thought it was Space Station 13, like it's really reminiscent of Space Station 13, which is really confusing. I don't know if it's the same developer or what's going on there, but it seems very similar. But the thing with Space Station 13 was that it was really confusing. Like it didn't, I don't know, it was just, there was a lot to it. It was a really steep learning curve. So I never really got into it, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of the same gist. Like you're just on a ship trying to figure out who's like the bad guy. I mean, honestly, I don't know who doesn't know about this game at this point, but for if you've just woken up from a coma or something, so this is basically the gist of the game, is that you have a group of crewmates on a ship, you all have to solve tasks, and a few of the crewmates are imposters, and the crewmates have to figure out who the imposters are and throw them out of an airlock, and the imposters have to try and kill all the crew members. So the characters in the game are just like these little blobby, kind of colorful dudes in suits, and it didn't really give me much to work with, but I thought it'd be really funny if I like turned them into this more realistic, kind of like over dramatic, stylized version of themselves. Like what would they would look like in real life? So I looked at a bunch of reference for the suits, because the suits are obviously just kind of like a one piece kind of thing, and I wanted to add more detail to it and try to not make anything like overly complicated, because the suits I think just have like the backpack, like they don't really have like a whole lot of like tubes and stuff sticking off of them. So I wanted to make it like really simplistic, but kind of give it like contour lines and stuff, make it look kind of like minimalist, I guess. So hopefully when I'm posting this, it's still October. Who knows? It could be January by the time I get this out there, but hopefully it's still October, and hopefully it's before Halloween. And this is kind of what inspired me to do this one, because I mean, the game itself isn't really scary. Like there's nothing really like horrifying about Among Us or anything like that, but the theme of it kind of is like it kind of has like the Thing, like it kind of has the Thing vibe. Like it always kind of makes me think of that, because you're kind of confined in this little area and you're all trying to work together, but one of you is trying to kill everyone. So it kind of has this sort of like horror movie-esque kind of vibe to it. So that's I wanted to make this look more like a horror movie. So you know, she was gonna be like walking around, and like the imposter is stalking her from behind, and I wanted to make it like really dramatic with like the lighting and everything, but at the same time, like I also thought it'd be really funny to keep the imposter the same style as in the game, just sort of like contrast, like the humor would just contrast, because like she's like super realistic and stuff, and he's just like this little doughy cartoon character still. But I really like this game style, like the idea of everyone working together to try and figure out who's the bad guy, you know, like having the enemy in there with you and no one knows who it is. Like I'm not really a huge fan of like the 4v1 games where it's sort of just like you're trying to escape the enemy, and like the enemy's just trying to kill you, and there's really nothing else other to do than survive. Like, but I like the mystery aspect of this, and I'd really like to see more games do this kind of thing where, you know, it's you're all in there together, but one of you could be the bad guy, you know, and it's not just a direct head-to-head kind of multiplayer idea. Like a lot of games are usually just like, you know, one team versus the other, but this is like really interesting to see that dynamic. And also, speaking of spooky games, since it's the spookiest month of the year, I finally got to play Phasmophobia, and oh my god, it's terrifying. it's a little intense. I have a VR headset, and I played it just for a couple of minutes in VR, and Nah, not for me. I don't think I'm ever gonna play it in VR again. It's a little too much. I'm someone who loves horror games, and even that for me is just Jesus Christ. Like it's really intense because like for me, horror games are really only scary until you figure out what the game can do. Like when you figure out what the game is, its limitations. Like I know the example that I always shit on is Outlast. Like Outlast to me was really scary in the beginning, but once you kind of like figure out what the game can do, like the enemies just feel really robotic and really predictable, and it just, I don't know, it gets more frustrating than scary. I feel like that's a really fine line to walk when you're playing a horror game, because like a lot of horror games, you can't defend yourself, so you have to like do all these little gimmicky things, and if the gimmicky things become more of a burden, the game, at least in my perspective, the game gets more frustrating, and it's more like aggravating than scary. You can't really be scared when you're pissed off at the game for screwing you over about something. But no matter how many times I play Phasmophobia, and like I think I've played about 20 to 25 matches so far, it just never seems less scary. Like I kind of like have more information on what the ghosts can do and which ghosts do what, and like what but you never really know what the game's gonna throw at you. I think that's what really makes it a good horror game, is that it's random. When you go in the house, you don't know what's gonna be in there. You don't even know what room it's gonna be in. Like it's always different. It's always a different ghost, and the ghosts all have like different things they're weak against, different things that make them angry, different things that like they'll attack you differently and stuff. It's really cool. I don't know why I'm talking about Phasmophobia while I'm doing a drawing for Among Us, but that's the thing. I don't know, as like a side note, I don't really know what to talk about with these speed drawings, because I see a lot of people upload speed drawings and there's just no commentary at all, but I feel like I have to add something to it, you know? It feels weird to just upload a video without putting any commentary in it. So I don't know, I'm sort of just, I don't really have like much of a script or anything like that, so I'm just sort of rambling about stuff that I enjoy and things that I've experienced during the time that I drew the specific thing that I was working on. So I don't know, if you guys like this, let me know in the comments. I have no idea. I don't know what to make anymore. I just like making stuff and just drawing stuff and talking about random shit. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. If you follow any of my artistic ventures, you'll know that lately I've been trying to push myself more in the direction of realism. I'm trying to get away from line art, and I'm trying to get a little bit more into like painterly stuff, because I've always been, I guess, like more into cartoons and this cartoony style, and I didn't really choose that style because I liked it. I chose that style because that's all I could draw. So that was kind of the reason why I started drawing cats, is because it was easier. Like if I drew cartoon people, like cartoon people is really weird because it's so easy to get into that weird spot where they just look gross and they just look really messed up. Like the last Jacksepticeye animation I made, I think it was like the bendy one. He looks gross. Like I really am not proud of that one. That was one of the last times I tried to draw him as a human, and then I started drawing him more as a cat character. And I found that drawing cats was just easier because there's a little bit more to work with, and you can kind of like, you can make stuff up a little bit more. Whereas like with a cartoon human, you can't really like, if you push it too far or stretch it too far, it just looks really goofy and just looks really looks nightmarish. It's nightmare fuel. At least that's what I see when I see the human cartoon characters that I've drawn in the past. Because with this, I mean, this drawing right here, this is the best thing I've ever drawn ever, in my opinion. Like, this is far beyond what I ever thought I could possibly draw. Like, this is just, I mean, I'm sure like in a month I'll look back and look at this and be like, oh, Jesus Christ, this looks terrible. But, I mean, this is far beyond what I ever thought I was capable of doing, which is really exciting because it shows me that practice is working. Because, like, practice, like, especially with something like art, it takes so long to improve, and it's something that you don't really see the improvement over a short period of time, at least for me. But this like really shows like a huge jump, I think. Like comparing this to things that I made even earlier this year, I mean, this is just like a huge jump, like understanding, I mean, I only used one color for the suit, but just like I'm a lot better with values now. I understand a little bit more about controlling the edges of of forms and shapes, and not having to rely so much on line art. And just proportion-wise, it looks a lot nicer. Like I said again, like I'm sure like in a month I'm gonna look back on this and be like, why the hell did I say it? Why did I think this looked good? But nah, it's just I've learned a lot, and it's really exciting because it shows me it's like, oh, maybe I could push myself even further. So that's why I want to try and get away from the more like cartoony style, is because I kind of use the cartoons as a crutch because I really didn't know how to draw, and I really didn't think I could draw anything serious like this. I mean, discounting the little cartoon guy in the background there, but he's just there for humor, and I don't know. It's really interesting to see, because like I don't know where do I go from here. Like this is an area where I never thought I could become this good, you know. And I'm sure there's people watching this who are way better than me, just like, that looks like shit, dude, what are you talking about? But I mean, to me, this looks incredible, and that's saying a lot, because 99% of the stuff that I draw, I absolutely hate, and I feel super awkward showing to people. But this is like the first thing where I'm like, wow, like I actually don't feel embarrassed showing this to someone, showing this to someone else's face. So yeah, it's like, it's really cool, because like I always, you know, like I always talk about this on stream and stuff, that I love Blizzard artwork, and I love World of Warcraft artwork, and it'd be really cool to like draw something for them one day. I know that's probably not gonna happen, or if it is, it's probably super far off, but that's sort of the goal that I'm aiming for, is to make that style of artwork is something that I really like. So stay with me on this wonderful little journey. And of course, I'm still gonna draw goofy stuff too, because I enjoy drawing. I think it makes it even funnier if I draw something realistic, but also have some sort of like dumb, cartoony aspect to it, like this little goofy character in the background here. Another thing that I never really did a whole lot of was like messing with levels and stuff. Like I usually, once I finish a drawing, that's it. Like that's as good as it's gonna get. But I've learned that you can actually kind of like tinker with stuff after the fact, like messing with the levels, the saturation, the hue. I can actually make like different colors of this suit just by shifting the hue and whatnot, which I might actually do. I might post some other pictures with like different colors, because I know there's like a bunch of different colors of the suits. But I chose red because I thought red would look the best. And I think actually someone on one of my YouTube stories suggested, I think the first person suggested red on my YouTube story. So yeah. Also, yeah, look out for my YouTube stories. I'm trying to use that more. I don't really know 100% how it works, but I try to post at least every couple of days on there. So yeah. And yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, but I think I messed with the values a little bit on this. I increased the saturation quite a bit, and of course, thanks to Ross Draws, I slapped this with some color dodge. You can see a little bit on the hips, a little bit on the face. I think I used it a little wrong. I don't know. I don't really understand color dodge. I don't understand what color dodge does. It just looks nice, but I think I kind of misused it a little bit. But yeah, I think it came out really nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this turned out incredibly well, which is saying a lot, because I usually hate, I usually get to this part of the video and I'm just like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't post this one. But no, this looks really good. This is the first time I've ever been proud of myself, I think. So a round of applause for that one, Cat, because I did it. I'm proud of myself for once. We'll see how long it lasts. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out my streams. I try to stream a couple times a week. Right now I'm just kind of playing League of Legends and stuff, but if you guys have any suggestions for things you'd like to see me play, please let me know in the comments, and turn on those notifications, because I stream sort of sporadically. I don't really have like a set schedule, but I would love to see you guys join me. I would love to talk to you guys about whatever you want to talk about. Art, games, just chill and chat with me, that one Cat. It's got a nice ring to it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.